of this great year.
The Boston Celtics are hoping that this is finally the year that they will hang banner number 18. Certainly Jayson Tatum, he knows exactly what is at stake and how difficult it is to get back to the stage. He spoke with reporters just moments ago.
I know how hard it is to get to the finals. And you think that you're young and if you've been once that you'll just continue to keep going. And we realized that last year. We kind of took it for granted. It really is tough to get to this moment. So I think right now just staying present in the moment. I'm not thinking about, what it would mean for my legacy or anything like that. If you want to be one of the greats, right, to put on this uniform, every great before you won a championship. And that's what we try to play for every single season. The expectations are obviously different here. And, it takes special players to be here and to be a part of an environment like that.
So Jayson Tatum clearly understands that it isn't just every day. You can't just book a trip back to the NBA Finals, and certainly he has been living with thinking about that trip in 2022 where they fell short for the last couple of years. For you, Perk, how have you seen Tatum evolve, and why is he ready for this, do you think, to be the year?
Because think about it. When they lost to the Golden State Warriors, right, that probably was the worst summer of his basketball career. And he's right. You cannot take for granted getting to the NBA Finals because you never know when you're going to get back or if you're going to get back to on the big stage. But when it comes down to Jayson Tatum, he's been here before. And it's almost like you're looking at Floyd Mayweather, right, when the opponent is fighting him on the big stage in Vegas. He wins the fight pretty much because it's new environment for the other person. So when it's his second time, I'm looking at Tatum right now. I feel like he's ready for the moment. I got him picked as my finals MVP, okay, and I got the Celtics hanging banner number 18, but it's not going to be easy.
No, I trust Jayson Tatum because all the things that Perk said, but even he said after they lost in the finals, everybody was saying, hey, good season, good season. He was like, no, we didn't finish the job. And when you talk about these opportunities don't come very often. I went to the NBA Finals my first and second year. I didn't go again till year 15. So there was a 13-year gap. And I think a lot of these players understand how rare this is. So for Jayson Tatum, I trust Jayson Tatum because I trust his team. And I trust his team that when he's struggling, they pick him up. When other guys are struggling, he picks them up. I think their complete team balance is why I trust Jayson Tatum.
And I also feel like right now, Jayson Tatum knows that he owes it to the organization. Because let's be real, when it comes down to organizations, like for us putting the pieces around their superstars, the Celtics have done that.
Yeah.
Every single season, they make sure they put the right personnel around Jayson Tatum so that he has zero excuses for us completing the mission.
But he's even said he feels like this is a better team, Richard, than in 2022. But it seems like because he left something to be desired, and he knows that. He has talked about that in 2022. The questions, like we are starting the show with, do you trust Jayson Tatum? No matter how decorated he is, they are going to come until he is not only the reason they complete the job, but also not the reason that they don't.
Well, I would say this. Understand this. If we go a little history lesson, when Giannis won the MVP and won the championships, we're like, Giannis is the best player in the world, right? Fast forward a couple years, Jokic, he wins a championship and, won the MVPs, and people are like, oh, he's the best player in the world. I just want for Jayson Tatum, if he were be able to win the MVP, our finals MVP and championship, put some respect on his name. He would be one of the few guys, and I think even if Luka were to win the championship and win finals MVP, people would say, oh, maybe it's Luka's time to be the best player in the world. I think that Jayson Tatum, if he is able to win a finals MVP with this team, we need to start putting some respect on his name. Next year, we can start seeing MVP votes. There are things that I think are missing from his resume, and I think this is the top of the list.
Yeah, but everything is earned and nothing is given.
Agreed.
So he have to earn the respect. Not that he's not an outstanding player, but even going further back in history. Because I heard one of the Boston media people ask him a question earlier today. They're starting to get on my damn nerves. By the way.
They love you, Perk.
But I know. But what I'm saying is like, oh, the scrutiny that you're under, right? The most scrutinized player in the NBA, and it's like, what? Like, but okay, so what? Embrace that as a good thing because Kobe was scrutinized when Shaq left, right, to go and win one on his own, right? LeBron was scrutinized when he went down to Miami and didn't complete the mission the first year. So, like, all the great players go through this.
Every
this is something
player
that you should embrace.
Well, and only players that have expectations that get that type of scrutiny.
Yes.
But Luka Doncic and Jayson Tatum, they have something in common in all of this. Back in 2022, both of those teams were eliminated by Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. And so Luka Doncic, he has played at high levels in Europe. He has been in finals in Europe, but he has never been on this stage before. And earlier today, he spoke about exactly what that means.
Amazing. First time here. Hopefully it's not the last time, but never take it for granted. You never know if you're going to come back. So just enjoy the experience.
He's one of the smartest players in this league, and that's why, again, we're playing in the finals, because of his IQ and his willingness to step up on that stage and not be afraid to fail.
How do you expect the reception to be here, and how does this crowd compare with crowds that you've faced around the NBA and in Europe?
Yeah, I think it's very loud crowd. Everybody knows that. You know, they've been known for that. It's hard to play in this place. The crowd is amazing for their team, and all I gotta say is we gotta, stay together. It's us against them, so we gotta stay together. But it's gonna be really hard to play in this crowd.
We have seen Luka dominate through these playoffs. Jayson Tatum, it still feels like at times we're waiting to see the best version of him. Who do you expect out the gate to give the first punch to dominate?
I don't know. That's the funniest thing. I think when you're talking about the best players on the other team, but the best team is the Boston Celtics, it would take it to LeBron James, to some of those Warriors teams. LeBron James was the best player, but those Warrior teams by far had the best team a lot of those years. So when I look at this, I don't know. I'm always curious to see who's going to go out there and kind of feel it out. Is Kyrie going to go defer in the first half and then pick it up in the second half? Is Luka going to come out and just try and dominate like he did in that Game 6 elimination, or Game 6 elimination? 5. Was it 5? No, Game 6.
Oh, you're talking about against
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Right.
Yeah. So when I say that, I was like, Game 6 there, he came out and set the tone for the first quarter. Was it Game 6? We've had so many games. I'm so tired.
Go ahead.
We've had so many games.
No, I expect Luka to come out.
5.
I expect Luka to come out and beat Luka.
Trying to make me feel
right?
wrong.
Who's gonna stop him? He's been doing it all postseason long. He's been doing it on the big stage his entire career as a teenager.
Yeah.
I understand we're sitting up here talking about the history of the Boston Celtics, the fan base, but Luka don't know no better, and he don't give a damn about the fan base. This is another game and another opportunity for Luka to come on somebody else's home court and do what he do best. Think about this. The Dallas Mavericks throughout the playoffs, have they started a series with home court? Absolutely not. They've been the visiting team, right? They've been on the road the start of the playoffs every single time. I expect Luka to be Luka.
The Boston Celtics have the best, most intense fan base in the NBA. But do you know what they don't have? The best, most intense fan base in the world. For guys like Luka and Jokic, if you've played in Serbia, if you've played in Croatia, their crowds are so intense. You're talking about flares. You're talking about complete chaos. So yes, this is going to be an intense environment here in the NBA, but I don't think that this environment is going to be something that Luka will shy away from.
Not only that, have you seen the way that Luka interacts with fans when they dare to heckle him, when they choose to take on that battle? It is almost like he absorbs it, uses it as fuel, tosses some over to Kyrie Irving and says, hey bro, let's show these guys what we got.
That's what we've been missing though. That's what we've been missing. Like, Luka is the guy that we've been wanting to see that we've been wanting and missing for the last, 10 years? A guy that actually embraced that. He's calling the fans and the opponents everything but a child of God. And I'm serious. I'm not lying. So, again, it's going to come down to the others, obviously. And I'm not talking about Kyrie Irving. I'm talking about guys like Daniel Gafford, P.J. Washington, Derek Lively, because this is their first time on the big stage. And being in the NBA Finals, you can get caught up in the moment. All the media, all the attention. The game starting at midnight. You know what I mean? Starting at late. All eyes are on you, and you can get caught up in it.
But So Kristaps Porzingis says the plan is to play in Game 1 of the NBA Finals tomorrow. He's had 5 weeks to recover from the calf strain that he suffered in the first round, and it got me thinking, what are the comparisons? What players have missed this much time? Well, this type of return, it really is unprecedented. No 20-point scorer has ever made a return from a 10-plus game absence in the NBA Finals. Here is Porzingis earlier today.
Feeling good. It was a long road to get to this point for me. But feeling good. Looking forward to today's practice, moving around a little bit more, and then being ready to go tomorrow.
Game 1 here at the Garden. You've talked about the crowd. What's going to be going through your mind, and what are the emotions like for you?
Oof, it's going to be goosebumps for sure, especially not playing for a while, and then coming back in in this kind of environment is going to be. It's going to be special. It's going to be goosebumps for sure. Since I got here, my message was clear. I'm just here to help the team win, and unfortunately, I haven't had the minutes on the floor with the guys, but now I get the chance, and it's all about winning another banner.
It's time now for Big Man Ballin', brought to you by ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN. So, Perk, how will the Celtics big man affect this series?
Well, he was talking about goosebumps. He's going to have more than goosebumps if he don't help deliver a championship. But this is why he's the most important player in this series. His ability to be able to switch 1 through 5, be 7-3, use his length, get a great contest on Luka. Now they out and running. This is what he also brings to the table. Stretching the floor. Before the injury, he was one of the best shooting bigs in the game for us at the three-point percentage. He provides spacing for Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. He has unlimited range. He does not even see Kyrie Irving in that shot. This is what Kristaps Porzingis brings. This is what the Celtics need. In order for them to complete the mission, he has to be the best version of him.
Right, because during the regular season, he was the most effective defender in the NBA, contesting shots in the paint. And then on the other end, he was the most efficient post-up player in the last 10 seasons. But we started this segment by saying this is unprecedented. To miss this much time, to be coming back in the NBA Finals and expecting to have the impact that Kristaps Porzingis, we really haven't seen that before, Richard. What are you going to be watching that'll let you know, okay, he's good to go?
Well, for in my own experience, I missed 40 games and came back for the first round of the postseason.
This was 2005.
2005, and we got swept. But ultimately, it took me about 2 or 3 games.
So you didn't make a difference.
It didn't make a difference. But it took about 2 or 3 games for me to kind of get my rhythm back. And it's different. I had a left wrist injury. He has a lower leg injury. So those, to me, he's going to be in a ton of pick and rolls. They do have backup. But I was just sitting here with this crew, and we were looking at, they just added a 20-point-a-game scorer. They're the best team in the league. They dominated their conference. They should win this series. If he can come out there, and I'm being very, all he has to do is give him 15, 20 minutes. If he can get 15, 20 minutes, and then if the game goes 6, if it goes 7, the series does, now you're saying, like, okay, can he raise his level? But Perk made great points. He's going to be in a ton of pick and rolls, but that's not foreign from him. He's a very good defender. He's a very good shot blocker if you do get by him. So he is a key in this series, but I look for him to get better every game. If he comes out and he's 1 for 6, that's fine. Next game, he'll be 2 for 8. The next game, he'll be 5 for 9. It'll get better. He might come out and just go crazy. We don't know because of the way we haven't seen him in 10 games.
But what you're saying is this is such a deep team that it doesn't necessarily need to be him that comes out.
But he is key.
Okay.
Yeah, he is key. And look, he's just gonna have to be him. 7-3, clogging up the paint.
Yep.
And the 3, look, I went to 5 NBA Finals. 3 of them I actually played a part in, not from the sideline, okay? And all 3 of the NBA Finals that I played a part in, I was injured, right? Obviously with the ACL injury, but when you go back to my days with Oklahoma City, I was dealing with a whole, don't you laugh, abdominal stroke. And look, it's those moments that you fight through it. In 2008, I was playing with a dislocated shoulder. Like, I had to have surgery after the season.
Slept on it wrong? Slept on it wrong?
Your abdominals feel okay now?
Huh?
Your abdominals feel okay now?
Yeah, I got to.
Don't say it.